Welcome back to Get Down to Business. As promised, I'm thrilled to be joined by Barbara Mitchell, the author, an author, speaker, and human resources consultant. She is the author of the Manager's Answer book. What a fascinating read, Barbara. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Delighted to be with you tonight.
Absolutely. What a interesting topic. You in the book, you and your co-author, you talked about powerful tools to maximize your impact and influence, build trust in teams, and respond. That's not good. I think Barbara, are you with us?
I'm here. Yes, I am.
Okay, fantastic. Sorry, I just heard a little buzz. So you talk about a topic that we hear quite a bit about on this program, questions from our listeners about building teams. So, Barbara, what is the high-level summary of the core challenge that you hope to address with your book?
Well, we know that so many people take on managerial roles without having a lot of preparation. Many organizations take someone who's good at a technical skill or perhaps a good salesperson, and they promote them and they say, okay, today you're going to manage the sales force. And they don't give them any of the skills that perhaps managers need. And so that's why we put this book together, to kind of help either the new manager who has never managed people before, or someone perhaps who's been a manager for a while but never really had any grounding in some of the things that make for good management.
Barbara, you know a thing or two about large corporations and large teams. You spent much of your long HR career with Marriott International, which you must have had so many interesting experiences. So I want to go through one or two of the scenarios that you talk about in the book. You talk a little bit about diverse workforces, which certainly is a great challenge to have. But what sort of guidance and advice do you talk about in the book about how to manage that interaction in that environment?
Most importantly is for the manager to get to know the people that are in his or her downline that they're managing, because people are different. Whether there's diversity, what we like to talk about is, there are certain elements of diversity. Everybody talks about the obvious ones: gender, race. But there's all kinds of other diversity that you want to have in your organization. And in order to know whether you have a good level of diversity, you have to know your people. What are they really good at? What are their passions? What are their interests? How do they think? Because diversity of thought is what I think is driving, especially entrepreneurial organizations now. You don't want everybody to think alike. You want people to come from different perspectives and have different opinions. And a good manager knows how to draw those opinions out without creating more conflict than is just normal in an organization.
Absolutely. We're chatting with Barbara Mitchell, the author of the Manager's Answer book, which, Barbara, it sounds like is a great read for both business owners as well as managers within corporations, organizations alike. We've got time for one more scenario, which I hear a lot about. Many people that I talk to have recently been promoted into a management level role, and they're starting to adjust to certain responsibilities, but they're feeling lonely. They're feeling cut off from the people that they used to brainstorm with, the people that they used to interact with. What advice do you have for them? How can they keep both that interaction as well as stay on top of their very, very key responsibilities?
It's a great point, because it is lonely. The higher you go up in an organization sometimes. So our recommendation would be to kind of have your own little board of directors. Maybe it's people either outside your organization that have a peer that perhaps you know from a networking group, where you can run ideas by them, or you can do it within your organization as well. People that are perhaps at your level, schedule some lunches and just say, I bet we have some of the same challenges. Why don't we get together and kind of figure out how we can work together? And I think being open, and most importantly, being able to listen to other people and not thinking, oh, I'm a manager now, I have to know everything. Nobody knows everything. You have to be able to reach out and ask for help, get expert advice. And hopefully we've done that in this book. But I think people need to just be open and say, I don't have all the answers.
Know what you know, but also know what you don't know, which is so important.
Oh, for sure, yes.
Well,
and I think your employees respect you, too, when you can be vulnerable like that.
Absolutely. Well, Barbara, it's a great read, and I don't want to spill all of the beans. I don't want to share all of the fantastic secrets that you share in the book. It's a great read, lots of great information. Again, regardless of where you might be in the corporate world, there's something that you can learn in the Manager's Answer book. There's something for everyone. So before we go any further, Barbara, as we run out of time, I want to make sure that that our listeners know where they can find it. Do you have a website?
Sure do. Actually, the website is bigbookofhr.com, because that's another book that we did together. So bigbookofhr.com, and we also tweet under that same Big Book of HR. So you can get all kinds of interesting information on our website and also through Twitter and our blog.
Fantastic. And the book is called The Manager's Answer Book. Thank you so much, Barbara, for joining us on the air. We'll be right back. More on Get Down to Business coming up in just a moment.